not my. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this series of East Africa Field School Hub webinar organized together with of course, the Ministry of Science Innovation in Uganda, then EMA Advisory and ZEAPL in courtesy of AFAS, the African Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services. So as already mentioned by Edwin, who will be our moderator, today we are privileged that we are discussing with our colleagues from EMA Advisory and ZEAPL India on the issues of ICT and extension and advisory services. From the East Africa Field School Hub, we are very grateful to have the two presenters join us to discuss the issues of how we can be able to reach the smallholder farmers and also be able to make a contribution in their livelihoods. As we are all aware, a number of African farmers are smallholder farmers, and they take a bigger proportion in agriculture, in farming generally. But at the same time, we are constrained, we are confronted with a number of challenges, including COVID currently ravaging the world, which is making physical access to farmers quite difficult. At the same time, we also see Africa, the growing population, but more specifically, the youth, who are very important in the future of agriculture. But to make them attracted to agriculture, we therefore have to have mechanisms, including the ICT, to make them either be service providers or beneficiaries. We also talk about the issues of the market. And for us to reach the market, we have to deploy ICT. So from the East Africa Field School, from the field school concepts, while we really cherish the face-to-face and all this, we also transform, we're evolving to ensure that we can be able to use the ICT to reach the farmers in certain situations. And most important in extension is the blending of the approaches, both ICT and also the face-to-face. So if we have a blend, if we have those, then we can be able to provide a service. Having said so, I want to welcome all of you to this webinar today, where we're going to hear about use of ICT and also the elements that are associated to that. I also want to introduce to ourselves if Commissioner Willy Osinde has joined. It would be nice for him to greet us. Then we get back to Edwin to moderate the presentations and the discussion thereafter. Willy, are you on board? Willy seems not to be on board yet. So
but we could ask also Mr. Peter Mwangi of KEFAS also just to say a word.
Yeah, okay. So if Willy is not there, and Amariat is not here, so Peter will greet people on behalf of Amariat, the fraternity of Kenya, 1 minute. Then thereafter, Edwin will invite the presenters and we progress. When Willy comes, at the closure, I will be able to give him a chance to greet all of us. Welcome and asante sana. Okay. Peter.
Asante, thank you very much, Max. Good morning, everybody. And those ones who are not from the East Africa region, possibly we want to wish you the good day and good time which you have. So my name is Peter Mwangi. I'm the country focal person for Kenya Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services, KEFAS. And this one is a very exciting moment because when we are talking of youth and ICT, it is very, very critical, particularly in our regions where we have a very large number of youths who are really looking forward to have gainful employment in this fair. And because they are really tech savvy, they are very critical tool or people who can be able to use this tool very effectively to be able to address most of the challenges which are facing our people, particularly the rural communities, to access markets. So this one is a key priority even for us as KEFAS, as a country. and we would be able to really learn the processes. Mariette is not with us, he's part of the team, and he's very supportive towards this. And we would really look forward to really sharing the lessons and see what we can be able to upscale and learn with as a country so that to address this issue. So thank you very much. And we also want to really take this opportunity. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to learn from each other. So thank you, Edwin, and over to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Peter. We feel welcome by your sentiments. So we will just take this opportunity and go to our main presenters. So start with Mr. Oliver Ndegwa, then you'll introduce Vikas Kaul, then you proceed with the presentation. So kindly take over. And for the rest of us, let's mute our microphones, let's mute our videos. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. Before I proceed, I've seen Willy has joined in as my my team. So let me give him priority first, and then we proceed.
Yeah, thank you very much, members. And I'm sorry, I thought it was still, there was still some time. But nonetheless, when Edwin beckoned me, I quickly joined. Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And I wish to thank you all for joining this webinar today. Today, I'm pleased to join the East African Farmer Field School Hub for a noble cause. And for this, I wish to introduce to you an ICT-based innovation that is being incubated by the Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation in Uganda to leverage on the challenges that are faced in the agriculture extension system in Uganda. And Uganda is not unique to the other East African countries. You will find that what we are facing here in Uganda is being faced in Kenya and Burundi and Southern Sudan. They're basically the same. So this has been a concerted effort by African Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services and the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation through M Advisory, which is being represented here by Mr. Oliver Ndegwa, and then ZEAPL and Indian partner. Now, today we bring this intervention to the frontline staff to understand how this works and how this will better their work methods and increase on their coverage. So we shall, where you feel you need more clarification, please do it. And for this, I will expect that we paid due attention to the presentation so that we give it the necessary adjustments where need be for it to work appropriately. So thank you very much, and over to you, Oliver.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And I'm very excited this time because M Advisory is already being incubated by Ministry of Science and Technology in Uganda. As an introduction, my name is Oliver Ndegwa. I'm an engineer of telecommunication. I'm also an agribusiness expert. I run two companies in Kenya. One is Agrotana International, which deals in smart agriculture, and also M Advisory Global Networks, which also deals in ICT component. We have been having several meetings with AFAS and also East Africa Farmer Field School and other corporate partners within Africa. And we saw the need to introduce concepts that will work. Looking at all the technologies that are there and all the systems that are there in Africa, which are offering agriculture extension service, there's one thing that is missing out. And when we address that missing component, it will increase food production in Africa. Just imagine the farm worker who has very little skill and also education needs to be given information. And the farm worker who is the investor, who has invested and also getting losses and all these kind of challenges. What is the solution that can be given? All the data that has been collected all over means that one extension officer is serving more than 1,000 farmers. So how do we break even in this model? Looking at the softwares and the applications that are there in the marketplace, we saw the population in Africa, most of them are very much engaged by using WhatsApp. So we said, why don't we try and use a WhatsApp model to reach our farmers? But a question will come, how about the farmers who don't have WhatsApp or smartphone? So we did a research and we looked at a company in Bangladesh and also in India called ZEAPL, who are already on board with us. I'll request them to come on board and also do a presentation. But very briefly, the reason why we looked at the India and Bangladesh is bringing in the model that is working in India and bringing it to Africa to see how it can help us with the solution that they're already doing it in India. So looking at one element that we'll need to understand, which is very, very crucial. All solutions are always given in English and Swahili and national languages in every country. We want to bring in a model whereby the ICT speaks to within our language. What does it mean? We want to offer training every lunchtime for the farm worker to get information within 15 minutes. We want to give information of diseases and pest management, all these things in local language, using the WhatsApp model, using the USSD, using the IVR. So all those terminologies, I want to present them after our friends from India have already presented, because we have very limited time. I believe we only have 1 hour, and I believe you'll have so many questions thrown to us to answer. So through Chair, I believe we can request Edwin to share the screen for the purpose of our friends from India to do the introduction of the products that we have invited all of you to listen to us.
It's okay, well received. So Ritesh, you can take over, but you can also introduce Vikas and then we proceed.
Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Oliver, for partnering with ZEAPL. And I would like to thank everyone for giving us this opportunity to participate and showcase what we have today. This particular concept is really interesting for us, and a surrogate of the same solution is being implemented in India, and there are over 1 million users already using the platform. Um, like Oliver rightly said, WhatsApp is the front end which is used by ZEAPL platform. The purpose of using WhatsApp is there is no training which is required by the user. Everybody understands WhatsApp very, very well, and it takes just a couple of days to understand all features of WhatsApp and then use it, the application, like a conversation. We have done it from the last many years. We've been doing it in India, and we have seen the engagement is very, very high. The adoption and the usage by people at the ground level is very, very high. Not only in urban cities, but it is also present in rural India, rural parts of the country, where people who can, just SMS or text or can read, can easily understand the entire application flow. And it becomes very important because your information can be sent, all critical information can be sent on demand to the farmers. So we are very excited to join this journey. I have a small presentation which talks about the product in detail. And then I've got a small demo also to showcase it to all of you. So with your permission, I'll put that screen, share my screen.
Please proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So what is the objective of this application? The objective of this application is to use ICT in agriculture because it has been adopted by the world. It is very important that when farmers are there in the field, there has to be a quick way to access the information through him. So here, my advisory and ZEAPL have come together to provide you a platform which is an intelligent content management system, which is supported by live agents sitting at the back end, which are also backed up by a very smart, intelligent, custom content management system. And through WhatsApp, the information is provided to the farmers. The interface is very simple. The interface for the farmers is just like they're talking to their friends. So it works like a conversation. And I will show you, you will understand when I show you the demo. But the purpose is that farmers should get access through WhatsApp onto two things. First, information on demand. So they can, among the various options available to them, they can demand what kind of information do they require, whether it is pest control, whether this is weather forecasting, whether this is regarding any intelligence on the soil, on the crop, or any other facility which is provided through this particular system. They can choose, or there can be push notifications which we can send from the backend to farmers time to time. They can be, various documents, there can be videos, or there can be various meeting invites which you can send to the farmers. So two-way communication is possible. We basically, the idea is to provide advice and information system for farmers through an easy to use learning and communication platform. So this platform is a learning and communication platform which was developed by ZEAPL, and this is being used extensively. So that's the core objective of this presentation. Now, what is important to learn here is, if you see across the world, the number of WhatsApp users are increasing. That's why it was important that whatever application we use, we should use something which is very popular. And WhatsApp penetration is increasing worldwide, and that's what is happening in Africa also. I don't have numbers for Africa, but I know from some research which I did, the penetration of WhatsApp is also increasing in Africa. In terms of, if you think of taking any other mobile application except of WhatsApp, you will face narrowness and rigidity. But in WhatsApp, it is very friendly and conversational when you use WhatsApp as the application platform. Similarly, there is no separate download required for the application. If somebody has installed WhatsApp, then there's no requirement of another download. So you don't have to ask the farmers and trainers to download a new application. So that's why technologically this adoption is higher here, and people are, anyways they get better engaged. Ease of use. It does not require any initial training. From the first day of taking the subscription, the user will be able to use from the first day itself. So the adoption is very, very high, and immediately you will find farmers getting engaged on the application. It supports many languages. So across the world, what all languages are supported in WhatsApp are supported by ZEAPL platform. So whether it is Swahili or English or French or whatever language you want, that can be given as a library. The content management system is intelligent, and we can have content also in those languages, which will be done by the advisory backend team. So the entire conversation becomes very easy with the farmers, and it becomes uh, very useful. A very important concern has been what I've understood in the last couple of meetings with Oliver, that internet bandwidth has been challenged in Africa. So again, WhatsApp takes care of that. It also works on plain 2G network very well. Only for large file downloads you require higher bandwidths, but for regular communication, regular content, you require 2G. So at most of the places, the application will work very good. So it does not require very high bandwidth, unlike in other applications. Our application require very limited bandwidth and it works very well even in 2G network. Now, second good thing is data will be available offline also. Once downloaded, suppose you have downloaded one video or an audio file or a lecture or any other document, that remains in your WhatsApp library. So you can refer back to it again. You don't have to go back and re-download it. Once downloaded, it will be there in your mobile phone. So that's why we want to use this approach of using conversational app, which is WhatsApp, for this particular purpose. Now, there are core features of this platform. There can be personalized learning. We can have customized learning courses. We can have customized content for each set of farmers. Like for example, if you want to include fisheries, if you want to include greenhouse, if you want to include any other category, you can have different kind of content. So personalized content can be given to each individual. Easy to roll out and scale up. Like I said, subscription on WhatsApp is very, very easy. We can have a very simple way to subscribe and enroll new farmers. So it will be very easy to scale up, and we will be, we can start with small numbers, but very fast you can roll up and increase the number of farmers on the platform. Like I said, in India, more than 1 million people are using it simultaneously, and growing it further is not a challenge for us. In terms of cost, for institution like AFAS and FAO and any other institution who is backing it up, the cost for implementing this kind of solution is much cheaper than any other application, because it's a license-based model, and depending on how many users come on the platform, this is charged. Uh, then less cost to end user, basic smartphone and WhatsApp. Again, it does not require a very high-end smartphone. A basic smartphone which runs WhatsApp will will be able it will is sufficient to use the application effectively. You don't require any other feature. You don't require any large screen or a tablet or iPads or any those things. You require a simple basic smartphone. And even with certain feature phones which are coming today, they have WhatsApp on the feature phones. So WhatsApp is becoming very prime application, and which all applications can run WhatsApp will be able to run this application. Like I said, no training is required, and it is very easy to use. It is very, very intuitive by the user. Once you have enrolled into the program, it works like a conversation between you and a chatbot which is being programmed by our team. I already explained it works even on low bandwidth. 2G coverage is enough. Language personalizations are possible. We can, convert translate the content and the menus into your languages. Multiple logins from single device. Let's say two farmers who are staying together, they want to share a particular user login. So we can have multiple logins, and they can promote we can promote single device sharing. Those kind of things are possible. Then the most interesting part is for the institutions who will be backing this application. They would like to see how many people are getting engaged, what kind of information is getting fetched by the farmers, and is it really getting used by people. So we have got a very interesting real-time analytics and dashboard data, which will help you to define on which sector do we require to explore more content. What is people referring to? What are they asking? What kind of questions are coming? How many, in which territories people are more engaged with the application? In which geographies people are coming for live sessions, in which territories people are raising doubts. So all those analytics will be available at the backend at administration to view the success of this program. So these are the core features of our platform, and this comes anyways with the license. Some of the features I've explained in detail are here. I will not spend much time here because I want to show you the demo rather instead of this. But yeah, ZEAPL has a live agent feature, which is being used by teachers also in a lot of other industries, by trainers. So here what happens, like you are interacting with machine initially, the farmer interacts with machine, but at some point of time, he realized that he wants a little bit more information. So we have a panel access which can be accessed by live agriculture experts sitting at the back end, and we can give them the access, and they can take the control from a chatbot to the live agent. This helps you to do live sessions without an interference. The user, end user like farmer, would feel no difference, would get there'll be no switching time. It seamlessly switch between the technology and then human. So this feature is an inbuilt feature, and it we plan to have live agents supporting the entire platform, which we will have at the back end. Now, similarly, we've got a very easy content management console. So we plan to have this content management administered by M Advisory, because they are the experts and they've got a team who are experts in agriculture and various other fields related to agriculture. So they will be controlling the content which is going to the farmers in various categories, and this is real time updated, so you don't have to actually wait for the content updations. It is as live as it can be possible. So it does not require much time to update the information at the front end. The moment you update at the content management console, it is real time replicated at the front end. So let's say if you got a forecast for tomorrow and you want to update to all the users, you just have to go to the content management console and update the weather forecast for tomorrow, and everybody would be able to do real time what has been updated at the back end. Apart from that, there's another feature through which you can reach out to farmers. So one way is that farmers fetch the information on demand which they want. Second way is that as ZEAPL and M Advisory, we want to send certain information, certain broadcast to the farmers through the same platform. So that feature is also available. We can pre-program those alerts, those notifications, pre-schedule them, and they will be automatically triggered at that particular time. If you want to schedule it for a regular period, let's say you want to send something on first of every month, those kind of campaigns can be scheduled. Now, this is a small snapshot of what kind of analytics is available. The engine is very, very powerful, and it helps you to monitor each and every aspect of usage and behaviors of the end user. You would be able to know what was the last login time by each farmer, what was the content accessed by the farmer, and you, based on that, you can drive various analysis and then improve the content. Okay, now how do we bring the farmers on the platform? That is one thing which we thought that we will also answer in this presentation. It is very simple. We develop a small registration link through which, by clicking onto that link automatically, just by clicking onto that link, a farmer can come to the platform and start accessing it. We can give a certain level of features at the first subscription, and then on paid subscription there can be additional features which can come. But taking a subscription and enrolling into the platform is very, very easy. it requires a small form to be built at our end, and that form can be filled. And we can also exclude the form filling information. It depends on what all information do we want to capture. Even if we don't want a farmer to enter anything, automatically our system captures his WhatsApp number and his name, which he has entered while registering into WhatsApp. So we actually don't require any information to be filled by farmer. Just by the moment he clicks onto the link which we provide, we capture from the backend his WhatsApp number and his name. Based on that, we can do registrations. And later on, if we want to take more information from farmers, we can capture that. Now, this is the suggested go-to-market strategy. We have been discussing this with between us and M Advisory. It has been suggested that we do a pilot launch for first 5,000 users, which should include farmers and trainers at a very nominal fee. And the duration of this pilot should be around 5 to 6 months. Idea is to run it and see what is the acceptance in the market, and collect a lot of feedbacks and product improvement suggestions from this team of farmers and trainers. And based on that, we will do product improvement at our end. What all development and improvements are required at our side. From the technical side, we will do it. Whatever suggestions comes on the content side, we will get it done through the M Advisory team and other associate partners. And then after that, after the improvement of the product, we will send it for user acceptance testing for a smaller set of farmers again. And after they pass the UAT, then we will launch it with a complete subscription model. Approximate the subscription amount is around USD 1.5 to 2 per farmer. This is broadly done. We haven't done calculations as in yet, because we want to understand during the pilot what will be the kind of integrations and complexities which will be required to do it in the main launch, and depending on that the subscription fee would be, but it will be more or less would be around this amount. Now this is a page which actually takes us to the demo, but imagine you will have how you can acquire farmers is there are various Facebook posts which keeps on coming on agricultural insights on Facebook, on Instagram. So we will just integrate our CTV link. If you see for more such advice on agriculture related topics, subscribe to ZEAPL M Advisory platform, click below. So it will be only a link. So here, if you see there is a link which is there. If I click this link, it automatically takes me to my WhatsApp. Is my WhatsApp screen visible, or I'm still on that sheet? It's not visible.
Not yet.
Okay, wait. I'll again do that because I've shared my. All right. So it actually, the moment I clicked, the moment I clicked there, it has taken me to this page, which is nothing but my WhatsApp. So just by clicking that kind of link, which will be there on various social media sites, farmers will automatically come to this kind of platform, and there will be a pre-typed text message, which is here in this case is M Advisory. We can define any other keyword. Let's say you want to have AFAS, or you want to have hello or hi, or any other keyword we can define. So for this demo purpose, we have created M Advisory, and right now it is running on a number which belongs to my company, G2M Hub. But when we do this pilot, we will have a dedicated number for M Advisory or AFAS, or whoever is the institution we want to create this for. So the user, the farmer, when he clicks there, he gets to this page, and he just has to click on this particular button, and this message automatically gets sent. Now you see the system automatically responds back. Within 1 millisecond, he gets a response back. Welcome to Agriculture Advisory and Extension
Sorry,
Services.
Ritesh, we are not able to see your WhatsApp screen. It is still on the chat. So if you could just share the entire screen, please.
Okay.
Now we can see. Go ahead.
Okay.
We can see now.
All right. Wonderful. Okay. So what is happening the moment I send this message M advisory, this is the keyword, I automatically got a response back from the system which says, welcome to Agriculture Advisory and Extension Services. This content is modifiable on the go. So this is something which we did from our understanding, but this is completely modifiable. But this kind of conversation will be there. And here we can give an option to choose the language to farmers. Let's say, he chooses English and we continue in the English language only. So we ask him, if he is interested, enter 1 to continue. So farmer has to just enter 1. And the moment he enters 1, automatically within again 1 millisecond, he gets a response back. Please choose your field. He can choose dairy, for farming, for greenhouse, for home gardening, for live chat, for subscribe to push messages, and for share feedback with us and to register complaints. So this is some generic menu which we have created, but he can further get into details of any other field and get to see the information. Now let's say he clicked on farming, so there is an introductory video which starts playing, so he has to okay, so I'll not play this entire video because of paucity of time, but this kind of video can be sent, any kind of other information like a PDF can be sent. So if somebody is interested in, let's say, learning about greenhouse, he enters 3 and then he gets a flyer which is nothing but a PDF which comes here. So he can just download the PDF and it opens the PDF. Then in there on a mobile phone, it won't ask him to save, it will just open. So it actually downloaded the entire PDF. So all the content which is available in a system, you can imagine it like a digital library which is organized in a very beautiful way, and every customer, every user, every farmer would be able to fetch information related to his uh, interest. And for future, the subscription will also be taken through the system itself. So let's say if somebody wants to subscribe, he enters 6, and the moment he enters 6, okay, sorry, okay, because he was in the previous menu, he has to first go to the home menu, and now I have to type 6 because I want to subscribe for push messages. So the system asks whether you want to subscribe for 1 month or whether you want to subscribe for 12 months. Suppose I want to subscribe for 1 month. The system says, okay, thanks for choosing to subscribe with ZEAPL advisory service for 1 month. You will be charged at USD $1, and click below to pay for 1 month subscription. It is an online payment. By clicking here, it automatically reached to a payment gateway, which is right now managed by us. But yeah, we can update this to the holding account, and we can manage subscription like this. Right now this is configured for Indian market, so ignore the amount. Okay, similarly, if somebody wants to go for a 12-month subscription, because if, like some farmers would not be interested in doing it again and again every month, so some people would like to go for straight away a 12-month subscription, so there'll be a separate link which will have a separate price. So this is broadly about the features of the product. And this, works like a very simple conversation platform. If you see, all these green items which I've entered are the inputs by farmers. So farmer has to just enter one character, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, P or H, these kind of characters. We don't expect a farmer to enter, anything in writing, except for, when he wants to send a feedback or he wants to register a complaint, then only he needs to write. And like I said, we would be able to customize it to African languages, and any other language will also be accepted. So broadly, this is uh, the platform, and that's all actually from our side, from ZEAPL side. I wanted to give a small demo, and once we get into the arrangement and when we start this, there'll be a lot of work which will be done in organizing the content and bringing in the right content, for which Oliver and team has done a lot of tie-ups already, and we will be procuring those intelligent content and organizing it in the same way. In terms of technology, the platform is very robust and very intelligent to serve the farmers and give them the right kind of information at the right time. So that's all from our side.
Thank you very much, Ritesh. I'm very excited for this presentation to the team. I would like to remind the team again, this meeting, we had a meeting previously with a Canadian company, and we borrowed leave of how they're doing it with the live experts. So we are also going to have that embedment there. And I know questions are going to come in on the subscription and why charging a farmer and this kind of thing. Very briefly to answer that, we look at the bundles that the farmers use for accessing WhatsApp. And because it's a 2G component, which is very, very low, we are looking at the $1 subscription per month. We can have a 1 GB or 1 MB or 100 MB for the farmer to access as per the need. But we know very well many people and many farmers use WhatsApp and they have got their own bundles. But people will want sometimes when you're in the field and you want to access the service. So part of the cost will go to the data bundle. The other cost will go to the extension officer who is going to provide content, because we are looking at the people who are going to be agents under our platform. And the platform, if it's being run by Kenya chapter, Uganda chapter, and other chapters through AFAS or through Farmer Field School, we believe there's also a model of cost share and revenue share and this kind of thing that will come on board. So we can bring back the team again. I've got a team from M Advisory Uganda. I don't know if Joseph can talk 5 minutes, and then we bring back to the team in Uganda, sorry, the East Africa Farmer Field School.
Okay, thank you so much, Engineer Oliver Ndegwa. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you much, the presenters. Yes, Ofwono Joseph Tarimo is my name, as already mentioned, from Advisory Uganda. Now, quick to the presentation. Yes, this is an amazing presentation. I think it's spot on. It's what we've been thinking about for quite a number of years, and I'm very sure. And authoritative, I would say, if we're able to implement this, then our farmers should be able to benefit. Now, I wanted to make maybe a few to seek for a few clarifications as far as the presentation is concerned. Now, first of all, is integrating it with WhatsApp. Yes, it is a brilliant idea, because everybody seems to be getting or to be joining the world of WhatsApp. But I also wanted to ask, like Ayman, who may not be knowledgeable about WhatsApp, or who may not be having the smartphone that could allow in WhatsApp. Is there a possibility, or is there a way that this little farmer that has not yet joined WhatsApp can be able to benefit. Because based on the presentation, I think entirely one has to be on WhatsApp to access or be part of this service. I don't know if you, the teams behind all the engineers, could be able to think through that this farmer who has the real normal feature phone that does not have WhatsApp, that does not have Facebook, I don't know if it could be possible that he could be able to also access. I don't know. I'm just asking. It may not maybe your target group, but just a concern. Why is that personally maybe about 30 farmers whom I'm directly working with, maybe say 2 or 3 or less than 5% of them actually are not about WhatsApp, but many other very many farmers who actually would be able to pay the $1, or even if it is $5, they cannot be able to, because they're not able to do WhatsApp. So it's just an area of conceptualization. If there could be a system in Kenya, so that now this other farmer that is not familiar with WhatsApp, that is not familiar with actual reading, because that's also another big problem, especially in Africa, that most of us Africans are not really good at reading. If there could be a way or how he could be able to just dial in a certain number and then be able to talk to agronomist, I am sure we could be able to get big farmers on board. And that's just my comment. But otherwise, I'm happy to be part of this meeting, and I look forward to implementing and be part of the team to move this forward. Thank you so much.
For the purpose of gender balance, let's have Madam Efrens, and then Edwin will take over.
Thank you, members. Today is a blessed day because we are listening to a brilliant idea. Thank you very much, all of you who are behind this innovation. My comment is that normally in our developing ourselves and other people, I would like to have to see how this system would be able to authenticate the payments. Normally in banks, when you're going to them, whereby they prevent fraud. So we want to have an assurance that when I'm paying my one recipient, so and a mechanism for authentication, so that people know what they are paying for and whom they are paying. Otherwise, I see a bright future for our I think for the beginning, let us first look at the system that we have, because in most cases, the so-called farmers are not really farmers. They are just gardeners. And a big percentage in our country is and access WhatsApp, that, and then we see how to access this that they require. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those questions. Thank you, Oliver. So we'll just relay them to Ritesh. So those are 2 questions: how to authenticate the payments and how farmers can use the dump funds or the feature funds. And then there's also a question in the chat box by Justin about funding the pilot and for local languages. So maybe you can respond to those 3, and the rest of us, because of time, let's just put our questions in the chat box. Thank you. Over to you, Ritesh.
Sure. So I'll first take questions by Justin. which is, can we do local languages? So yes, I answered it during my presentation. All the languages which are available on WhatsApp can be configured with our system. We can do local languages as well. Who will fund the pilot? I don't have an answer right now of this question. We are looking for institutions in Africa to fund this for farmers initially, and then later on it will become a self-sustaining program, and it will be able to manage within the program fee itself. But yeah, for the first pilot, it will require, we are looking for institutions in Africa, and Oliver is helping us in, in associating with them. Then can we have farmer subscription by mobile money? Yes, we can look at that. We have started getting in touch with mobile money team in Africa, and there are other players also in Africa like M-Pesa. We are discussing with them as well. So we will be considering them. What about the rural farmers who do not have internet connections or phone? Now I told you phones or smartphones is a basic requirement for this particular application. A phone without a WhatsApp would not be able to access this, but there are ways. So, once you have a very good content library, and once you have a system in place, tomorrow we can integrate systems like IVR, where a local number, a toll-free number can be integrated with the same application. And through a IVR menu, farmers would be able to hear the information on the phone call by calling from a local number. That kind of information, because it is like disseminating information remotely. So it has to be done using a telecommunication channel only, either through text, USSD, WhatsApp, or mobile, or a call or a phone call. At least these four requirements are to be considered if you want to disseminate the information. So that's, and sorry, I forgot the other two questions. Can you repeat those two questions?
The other question was how to authenticate the payments, that there's no fraud. Nobody is hijacking the payments. The payments go to the right extension hub.
Okay. So for this, it will be better that we route it through a government organization like or an NGO based out in Africa. We route the payments through them, and we become a supplier to the NGO in Africa. That way, it will be completely audited system, and the payment which has to be received is received by the NGO, and for our services, and for services of M advisory, because we are a profit-making organization. So we would be generating our invoices to the NGOs, and NGOs will do a fair distribution of supplies, distribution of payments to ZEAPL and M advisory through that. So we can have a proper system of of managing payments. We don't want to collect payments directly from the farmers. We want to just ensure that to sustain the platform and to manage the platform well, we are paid the platform fee, because that's what our revenue model is, and our license fee has to be taken out from the system. So this way it will not be, we can ensure that entire thing is audited, and the NGO or the government body of Africa is or the affairs can be there, or there has to be some we can form a committee with them, and the entire
Can I just add? Can I just add to this, what we are saying? So just to specifically do, the payments will be run by the banks and the financial institutes. The platform will be only given an access to extend it. For example, in the demo, when Ritesh showed you how the payment was happening for $1, it was not happening on our platform. It was happening on a payment gateway. So it is secured with the bank or a financial institute. From that perspective, if that is the answer that you were looking for, it's going to happen outside our system in the banking system. So it is secured in all manner possible. So if that was the one that you're looking for from a payment perspective, then there's other question in terms of how do we, this is from Peter, how do we use the local extension officers to contextualize the content? The biggest advantage, as Ritesh mentioned in his presentation and also in his demonstration, we are able to identify where the user, where the farmer is. So depending upon where he is, he will be only given information, be it related to his crops, be it related to his cattle, be it related to the weather. It'll be all contextualized. And that is where the artificial intelligence in the system that we have built in gives only contextual information to the end farmer. The second question you asked is, do we require a call center to manage a backend? We have both the options available on our platform. If someone is on a smartphone and wants to chat with, which Ritesh mentioned in his presentation, yes, there is someone at the backend who can become a consultant and answer the questions on chat. And there can be a call center as well, since the platform is an ICT platform that we have looked at. I guess those were the questions that we've answered. If any of you have any questions, you can post it on the chat box, or you can possibly raise your hand, and then we will be able to help you answer those.
There's another question in the chat box on M&E. That is from Nathan. How can you incorporate M&E systems into this platform?
Can you help us explain what do you mean by the M&E system?
So I think because they're talking about the monitoring and evaluation.
Okay, got it.
So, or any kind of weather forecasting system. So all these systems, they come with APIs, Nathan, and our system ZEAPL is very API friendly. We can integrate with any third-party system. So if there is any M&E platform, M&E system, which has APIs, we can consume those APIs, and this can be real-time integrated. When we integrate, that means any kind of information which is sent by an M&E system would be available in our system, and real-time it can be given to the farmers. We have done this for a lot of corporates where we have integrated with their backend systems, where information in their systems are integrated, and we send with real-time information to the end user. So this is not difficult for us.
I would like to, Ritesh, if you can put the link of the WhatsApp for the members to try it out with themselves.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. So back to the AFAS and Farmer Field School.
Well, I've just posted in the chat box that within the Field School Hub, we have a wealth of information. Every time people mention content, we have all the Field Schools manuals that have ever been developed through ourselves or our partners. And also we have a large pool of MTs, master trainers, who can be co-opted into the system, because I saw some question about having a call center in the back end. Basically, that is what we are looking at. We want to have a 24-hour support system that is managed by Field School master trainers from the comfort of their homes, but they can be working on shifts so that you're able to know who is available from this time to this time. So we have all this information, and it's very good for us to even intervene and support existing field schools. What point are they? Are they on experimentation? Are they into value addition? Are they into marketing? And all this will help us link them up to markets, link them up to better input suppliers, and of course, have more money for themselves in their pockets and more yields. That's what we are thinking. So I don't know whether there's any other question I've left out. Maybe we'll give it to one or two people. Just raise your hand. We'll give you that time while we are winding up. Apologies for going beyond 11, going beyond 1 hour. I don't know that Justin, you had been answered properly. I saw you raising your hand. Justin?
Yes.
Was
Hello?
your question answered? I saw you raising your hand again.
Partially, I still need really to be cleared. You know, a bulk of the farmers in the West and Central Africa part of the country, they are not connected to the internet. And secondly, the payment. Somebody was talking about payment. I don't know if we are going to consider our traditional means of payment over here. Then I was talking about the languages, which are very important, because like in Cameroon, not all the farmers who speak the English me and you we are speaking. There's another version of English we call Pidgin, which is widely used by the farming community. So I don't know what are the dispositions that have been taken to make sure that the system becomes so friendly to these farmers.
Thank you. Kindly elaborate on your formal payment system. What is it? Is it just normal cash, or how does it happen in Cameroon?
Yeah, we have most farmers, if they will manage to do, most of the times they do cash in hand. If they are managing to do any other payment means, it should be Momo, MTN, or Orange mobile money.
Okay. Thanks. Maybe just to share our experiences in Eastern Africa, especially farmers who might not be having all this technology information and they're not savvy, we normally put them in groups, farmer field school groups. And from the field school groups, there's a leadership structure that can even buy packages for them or bundle packages for them. This is something that you can do at group level. So for those ones who cannot do it individually, there should be a referral system to an existing field school or an existing group. But the rest of the questions, maybe Ritesh and Vikas and Oliver can respond to that. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will just want to make a note. When we requested for this meeting today, we were looking at the 5,000 members to join in. So we are looking at the trainers, so that the people who don't have WhatsApp, the trainers can get content and information every time that the East Africa Farmer Field School is giving out information, can be sent to the trainer. So we want, first of all, the trial time. We get the trainers so that they're equipped using their mobile phones rather than carrying a lot of books when they're going to the field. And to answer the question that Joseph had requested, for other people who don't have a smartphone, we have got other programs that we are looking at, but it's very, very expensive in Africa for content provider license. Like in Uganda, in Kenya, it costs up $10,000 to have a USSD or an IVR. So all that, we're trying to look at the pain that the farmer will go through by his expenses. We know very well farmers spend about $5 to go to get information from the extension officer. So we're trying to put it within the facility of the farmer to $1. So we want to try out and see, can the farmer manage to subscribe at $1? And from the $1, what is the farmer getting back? Now, the extension officers, some are private, some are government, some are content providers. How are they going to be remunerated? So if you look at $1, there's no way you can pay an extension officer $1. So we are looking at that as a group and providing content for specific, so that we make it life easier for the farmer and the farm worker to get content to support in food production. Okay, thank you very much. Back to Farmer Field School. Eden.
Thank you. Mr. Ofwono, you've raised up your hand. Please take over.
Okay, thank you very much, Edwin, for this opportunity. There was a question raised by, I don't know whether Mr. Roma, that who will fund the pilot. And to me, I look at this as a self-driven intervention by but the Ministry of Science will kickstart the process, since it is incubating M advisory. So together with us, we shall work out a mechanism of how to kickstart this process, but then it will be menu driven. Now, the most important thing is for us here today is to acknowledge or to understand that this is the way to go. Now, if it is the way to go, then we are not going to stop at this, because one presentation is not good enough for all of us on the platform today to understand how this is going to work. I would be of the view that we are yet to hold another meeting to understand how the system is going to operate. And that is with the trainers. Then the trainers will now maybe work out a schedule with the farmers on when we are going to start the pilot process. But on the issue of cybersecurity is where I will want us to work pretty faster, so that people don't hack into our system and discredit it. So this is something that we might need to understand, especially during the pilot phase. And probably Mr. Ritesh could give us his understanding or his experience with the cybersecurity in regard to this kind of transaction. So that is my take for now. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Mr. Ofwono. Over to Vikas and Ritesh.
Mr. Willy, just to give you a one-line answer to that, we are an enterprise-grade platform. We are already an ISO 27001 company. So from a security point of view, we are among the top, we have among the top Fortune 100 companies where we are already a global partner with them. Case in point is Procter & Gamble. We are a global IRISC cleared vendor for them. So these are things that we have already done, because most of our business that we do, the platform gets used, like Ritesh mentioned, is for top grade enterprise brands across the globe. So we need not worry about it. And as and when we get to the pilot, we will also showcase to you what are the firewalls and how do we progress in terms of creating the platform.
Okay, Mr. Ofwono, was there another addition? I saw your hand up again.
No.
Thank you. Madam Air Friends, I saw your hand also. Okay. So I think members, there's this request for us to continue with more and more of these discussions, and also try to identify where can we start this pilot of at least 5,000 farmers. So do you have any views or comments on this before we wind up? Or Max will advise us.
They're not good. Yeah.
Hello, members.
Thank you very much. I believe we are going to have a next meeting with the East Africa Farmer Field Squad and AFAS. So we can discuss that in the next meeting that we're going to have. Right now, it was just an introduction for us to digest it and see if it's a workable thing. And if there's any questions which will be coming from the testing period. And we want to see what content can we be uploading when we are doing the test. And we will need to work very hand in hand with the East Africa Farmer Field School with the content that they already have. And from there, then we upgrade it to specific now languages, whereby it will make life easier for the trainers and also the extensionists to provide content to the farmers. What will be very, very crucial is the adaptability of this to the farmers in the rural area where there's no electricity and where there's no data connectivity. So we want to see that as a model that we want to penetrate the whole of Africa. We believe very well that you guys have got a good database that we can start a trial. We would like to request if you can have a second meeting with the farmers to think through with M Advisory to think through how they can adapt and what will they need to get. What crops are we going to start with? Because we cannot start the trial with all the crops which are about 40 plus and all the other animals and also the agricultural value chain. So we need to look at the pilot. Where do we start? How do we start? Are we starting with maize? Are we starting with cassava or banana or this kind of thing, so that we give back the data analytics back to the AFAS or East Africa Farmer Field School, who are going to be very close to us.
Thank you so much, Oliver, for those insights. I think that is the best way to move forward. We'll continue this discussion. And what we can assure you as the East African Field School Hub, we have the master trainers, we have the technical experts who can be able to run this system. We also need to identify the easiest, lowest hanging fruits where we can easily intervene and show results. So I will just say thank you so much to Ritesh, Vikas, Oliver, and the rest of the team at M Advisory for coming up with this noble idea. We will continue to share it out with our larger field school fraternity that most of them could not be able to join today. We will share the presentation and also this recording. So I believe this is work in progress. Thank you so much. I will now relate to Max to close up the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Edwin, and thank you very much, Ritesh and your team for a very good presentation. Oliver and Commissioner Willy, Osinde. These innovations that will help to get the farmers to the market, increase their production and productivity, but also outscale their innovativeness. From the East Africa Field School, definitely, we count on the power of numbers. If we get enough farmers, then there will be easiness in terms of the costs that are related, but also accessibility to the market. The numbers count a lot. But also we look forward to a scalable innovation that can go across not only in one country, but to all the countries that we work as AFAS, and the East Africa Field School Hub. So I'm happy with the discussions, and let's move on with the next discussion internally with the master trainers and farmer facilitators of the Field School Hub and some country fora of AFAS to map out how we can be able to concretize and maybe get into the pilot. I think myself and Willis, we shall have a conversation and see the feasibilities on this, then we communicate to the rest of the team. Having said so, we want to appreciate everybody for your active participation, also to learn. perhaps even though we may have not exhausted issues, you must have learned some leaf which you can use in your own platform, but also spread the gospel. And if you have any feedback that you wish to send to AFAS and the East Africa Field School Hub, please do not hesitate to get to us so that we can learn and also bring the issues to those who are dealing with the innovation. Thank you so very much. We wish you well, and let's continue with the social media that has been already shared in the chat. And also, we want to say COVID is still very serious. In Uganda, we are on a partial lockdown. We would like to always call upon everybody to take care so that we continue to serve the farmers. Thank you, and God bless as you go into the next activities. Remember, next week, Wednesday, we shall have a webinar, and we invite all of you. We shall be communicating what exactly the focus will be. Thank you. Asante sana. Masibo.
We share our videos for the last photo for those ones who have gotten to the finish line. Let's just share our videos.
Good enough, eh?
The race successfully. I'm waiting for Sandeep. I'm waiting for Ruhakana, Joseph, Madam Kate, Olivia, Jennifer. How are you?
Olivia, Ipeno, Sharon.
And Mr. Musimane is just opposite the window where there's a lot of light. Yeah, that's much better.
Grace.
Waiting for Wells. Vivek.
Like a king.
Are you awake, Vivek and Sandeep? Madame friends, Casita, Gerald.
I think I should even put on a mask.
Why? Even for the photo?
Yeah,
so Ritesh, we have a lot of partners. This is the fiscal community.
If you are in your own office, no mask for a minute time.
Yes.
Oh, some of our offices are shared.
No, if you are sharing,
if you are sharing now.
On.
Okay.
Have you taken?
I'm waiting for Vivek and
Sharon.
And Sharon and Odile.
Empress.
Oh,
okay. Mercy. Okay, Edwin, I think you take the photo. We have the next meeting in the next 5 minutes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Okay, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
So Peter, you will re-sign in the same platform after we close.
Thank you.
Thank you.